sabor que tiene la mañana. Me gusta el primer traguito de café, sentir como sol se asoma a mi ventana y me llena la mirada de un hermoso amanecer. Me gusta escuchar la paz de la montaña, mirar los colores del atardecer, sentir en mis pies la arena de la playa y lo dulce de la caña cuando beso a mi querer. Sé que el tiempo lleva prisa pa' borrarme de la lista, pero yo le digo que ay, qué bonita es esta vida, aunque a veces duela tanto y a pesar de los pesares, siempre hay alguien que nos quiere, siempre hay alguien que nos cuida. Ay, 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 qué bonita es esta vida. Y aunque no sea para siempre, si la vivo con mi gente, es bonita hasta la muerte con aguardiente y tequila. La voz de una guitarra, mirar los colores del atardecer, sentir el abrazo de la madrugada y llenarme la mirada de otro hermoso amanecer. Sé que el tiempo lleva prisa para borrarme de la lista, pero yo le digo que qué bonita es esta vida, aunque a veces duela tanto y a pesar de los pesares, siempre hay alguien que nos quiere, siempre hay alguien que nos cuida. Ay, 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 qué bonita es esta vida. Y aunque no sea para siempre, si la vivo con mi gente, bonita hasta la muerte con aguardiente y tequila. Ay, 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 qué bonita es esta vida, aunque a veces duela tanto y a pesar de los pesares, siempre hay alguien que nos quiere, siempre hay alguien que nos cuida. Ay, 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 qué bonita es esta vida. Aunque no sea para siempre, si la vivo con mi gente, es bonita hasta la muerte, con aguardiente y tequila.
Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming out this evening. We are Grupo Fénix, as the voice of God said earlier. We are a DC-based collective of musicians that live here, residents of the DMV, but we all hail from different parts of the US and parts of Latin America, and we'll get to that later. But for now, we are happy to celebrate Dia de los Muertos with you today on one of the official days, although it does happen over the course of a few days, typically as early as October 30th to November 2nd. And it's pretty much welcoming back of our loved ones that are long gone, but we honor them with food, drink, music, and visits to cemeteries. And we also set up altars in homes and in public spaces with their pictures. And I'm sure many of you are familiar with the movie Coco, and it's pretty accurate as to how that happens. It is a tradition that has evolved over time, draws a lot of significance and meaning from Aztec rituals honoring the dead, but it was also modeled after All Souls Day, which was imported from Spain back during the Spanish conquest. And so now in Mexico, we welcome people back on that bridge of marigold flowers that you might be familiar with again from the movie. And there's actually a procession that starts with the youngest, and November 2nd is everyone else. So we've arrived. Everyone is here with us, and we hope you keep that in mind tonight while we remember and we celebrate, because it's also a celebration of life. That song we just did is called Esta Vida, and it is a song from Colombia. It is the vallenato style, which is a rural type of genre, and it focuses heavily on the accordion. And we do have an accordion up here, we just haven't gotten around to it yet. But for this song, Jorge Celedon is the original author, and he made it popular in Colombia, and then it spread like wildfire throughout Latin America. And so this song is about joys and struggles of life, and being optimistic and keeping open heart and celebrating life. And so we hope you enjoyed that one. Up next, we have a traditional son, jarocho. A son is a basic type of genre that is prevalent in all of Latin America. The son has a specific style to it. You'll hear one of those styles. And this particular song is jarocho, meaning it is native to eastern Mexico, specifically the state of Veracruz. And this song is called La Bruja, which means the witch. And it is a song that you will hear very often during Day of the Dead celebrations, Halloween, etc. And so we hope you enjoy it.
Thank you very much. So my colleague Benito alluded to this. This next song we're taking from the Disney Pixar film called Coco, and it's called Un Poco Loco, and it's composed by Latina American Jermaine Franco. Hope you enjoy.
What color is the sky? Ay, mi amor, ay, mi amor. You tell me that it's red. Ay, mi amor, ay, mi amor. Where should I put my shoes? Ay, mi amor, ay, mi amor. You say put them on your head. Ay, mi amor, ay, mi amor. You make me un poco loco, un poquitito loco. The way you keep me guessing, I'm nodding and I'm yes. I'll count it as a blessing. That I'm only un poco loco. Eso.
La escala con ganas, Fénix.
Oh, loco that you make me, it is just un poco crazy. The sensation I'm making, the liberties you're taking, leave my cabeza shaking. That you're only un poco loco. Eso. Muchas gracias. Thank you. Okay, we're going to switch gears now. It's a nice, fun tune to lift spirits. And this other one that's coming up is called Puño de Tierra. It's a little bit of a somber tune, but it's in the style of norteño music, which comes from northern Mexico. And it's a ranchera style or corrida style, which is basically in 2/4, 1, 2, 1, 2. And so Puño de Tierra means a fistful of dirt, and basically says, take advantage of life, enjoy it while you have it, because at the end of the day, all we're taking with us is a fistful of dirt. So we hope you enjoy it, and here we go.
Vagando voy por la vida, vas recorriendo Thank you to our dancer there. We'd love to have more of that. Yes, please clap along, please dance along, please sing along. This is all about conviviendo, thriving, living together. So our next song is a song called Adiós a la Vida. It is a Mexican ranchera written by Benjamin Sanchez Mota. And the spirit of the song is, when I die, I want my funeral to be a party. I want there to be mariachis and tequila, and you don't need to be sad. So in the spirit of this fiesta for Dia de los Muertos, here is Adiós a la Vida.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So this next song that we're going to play is La Llorona, or just Llorona, and it's a Mexican traditional folk song, and it's based on the haunting legend of La Llorona, the weeping woman, who is said to be haunting the bodies of water, rivers, lakes, what have you, mourning for her dead children. And so she's seeking vengeance, and it's often told as a cautionary tale for children to not go near any of these bodies of water, especially in the dark. So the origins of the song are not very well known, but it's a very popular song, especially during this time of the year in Mexico and elsewhere. And so this song just has very hauntingly beautiful lyrics. Hope you enjoy. Thank you very much. So those last few songs that we played, once again, were very Dia de los Muertos forward. A lot of these songs, again, you hear during this time of the year. But up next, we're going to do a set of songs that are more tributes to who we consider to be legends of Latin American music who have already passed away. But before we get to that point, I wanted to take the opportunity to introduce everybody up here. So first, on my left, we have Yumali Garcia from Ciudad de Mexico, Mexico, on violin, arpa, requinto, and accordion. And then to my far right, we have Xavier Bure from San Ignacio, Peru, on percussion. Next to him, we have Benito San Miguel from Danuba, California, on guitarrón and vocals. Right here next to me, we have Logan Clark from Castle Rock, Colorado, on vihuela and vocals.
And to my left here, we have Juan Flores from El Paso, Texas, on violin and vocals. Okay, so the first of our tribute section is a tribute to Pedro Infante, who was a star of the silver screen during the golden era of Mexican cinema, great actor, great singer, and he made famous this song called Amorcito Corazón. It's a bolero, which is a little bit slower, sweeter, and almost always about love.
Amorcito corazón, yo tengo tentación de un beso que se prenda en el calor de nuestro gran amor, mi amor. Yo quiero ser un solo ser y estar contigo. Te quiero ver en el querer para soñar, en la dulce sensación de un beso modelón quisiera. Amorcito corazón, decirte mi pasión por ti. Compañeros en el bien y el mal, ni los años nos podrán pesar. Amorcito corazón, serás mi amor. En la dulce sensación de un beso modelón quisiera. Amorcito corazón, decirte mi pasión por ti. Compañeros en el bien y el mal, ni los años nos podrán pesar. Mi amor. Thank you. So we love boleros here, and so we're gonna give you another bolero for all the people who just love to radiate love. This next song is in tribute to Vicente Fernandez, who is considered to be perhaps the biggest legend in modern Mexican music, especially in the Mexican ranchera genre. Vicente Fernandez often goes by Chente, and he is considered the Elvis Presley of Mexico in many ways, especially booming a lot during the 70s. But it's because of him that a lot of the songs that we consider to be cornerstones of Mexican music are the cornerstones of Mexican music. So this is De Qué Manera, and it is composed by Mexican composer Tomás, sorry, not Tomás Méndez. Federico Méndez, another Méndez.
His brother. Verás que no he cambiado, estoy enamorado, tal vez igual que ayer. Quizá te comentaron, que a solas me miraron, llorando tu querer. Y no me da vergüenza, aún con la experiencia que la vida me dio. A tu amor yo me aferro, y aunque ya no lo tengo, no te puedo olvidar. A tu amor yo me aferro, y aunque ya no lo tengo, no te puedo olvidar. ¿De qué manera te olvido? ¿De qué manera yo entierro este cariño maldito que atormenta a mi corazón? ¿De qué manera te olvido si te miro en cualquier gente y tú no quieres ni verme porque te conviene callar nuestro amor? ¿De qué manera te olvido? ¿De qué manera yo entierro este cariño maldito que a diario atormenta a mi corazón? ¿De qué manera te olvido si te miro en cualquier gente y tú no quieres ni verme porque te conviene callar nuestro amor? Thank you. Gracias. On to the next tribute. Another one of our great composers from Mexican culture was José Alfredo Jiménez. He was a very prolific songwriter, writing upwards of 1,000 songs over the course of his lifetime. And so many of them still remain very vibrant and accessible in our songbook as representatives of this type of music, mariachi music. And the world over, different people always pick it up and make it their own. This next song is in the style of huapango, which is a genre of music that comes from central eastern Mexico. And it has a very distinct sound. There's a lot of interplay between the guitars, and so you'll hear that once we start playing. And this song is called Cuando Sale la Luna, when the moon comes out.
noche con noche va creciendo. Más y más. Con noche va creciendo. Más y más.
Deja que salga la luna. Thank you very much. Okay, our next tribute is a song called Paloma Negra, which means black dove. And this one was written by it's one of the Mendezes, Tomás Mendez. But it was really made, and we're celebrating him, but it was popularized mostly by two women during different periods of Mexican popular culture. And the first one was Lola Beltran, who was an amazing actress and singer. And the second is Chabela Vargas, who had a really, really distinct, raspy, deep voice that has touched many people. And she rose to fame despite a lot of trials and tribulations, being a lesbian, but her voice and talent just shone through. So this song is dedicated to them.
No amanecer, ya no sé si maldecirte o por ti rezar. Tengo miedo de buscarte y de encontrarte. Aseguran mis amigos que te vas, y hay momentos en que quisiera mejor rajarme y arrancarme ya los clavos de mi penar, pero mis ojos se mueren sin mirar tus ojos. vivo mi honra parrandera y tus caricias deben ser mías de nadie más. Y aunque te amo con locura, ya no vuelvas. Paloma negra, eres la reja de un penar. Quiero ser libre, vivir mi vida con quien yo quiera. Dios, dame fuerza, que estoy muriendo por irlo a buscar. Y agarraste por tu cuenta la parranda.
Thank you so much. Up next, we have a song that is one of more than a handful, but due to tragic circumstances, the singer's life was cut short at the age of 23. Selena Quintanilla was born in Texas, and she contributed significantly to the Tex-Mex musical movement. And she made a lot of songs and won a lot of hearts in her short lifetime. But we want to pay tribute to her as well. She's been a huge influence in not only our upbringing and our music making, but also to so many around the world. And if anytime you come around Cinco de Mayo, Mexican Heritage Month, Hispanic Heritage Month, sorry, Mexican Independence Day, and those types of events, you're certain to hear her songs. And the next song we have is called Como la Flor. It is a cumbia, and we know that many of you have been getting up and dancing every now and then, but the space up here is dedicated specifically for that. So we hope to see several of you up here.
Bailemos, pues.
Encontraste felicidad
cómo me duele.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias. Thank you.
So don't go away. We're going to keep playing a couple more upbeat songs. This next song is really honoring perhaps one of the most beloved singer-songwriters by all generations of the Spanish-speaking world, especially in Mexico and here in the US. His name is Juan Gabriel. And he is one of those, he epitomizes one of those raw, passionate talents, and a lot of his songs have been interpreted by many. This song is called Me Nace del Corazón. And I think with Juan Gabriel, what makes him so iconic too is that he, much like Chavela Vargas, went against a lot of barriers and just for being who he is. And I think that's the reason why we love him and remember him so much today.
Corazón, decirle que usted es mi vida, que no sé vivir sin usted, disculpe que se lo diga, pero es que no aguanto más, este dolor me calcina, me nace del corazón y el corazón me domina, yo quiero sentir sus besos, sus manos que me acarician, quiero comprobar que vivo, no quiero morir de amor, hasta que escuche su boca, decir que me quiere mucho, este amor que usted siente, le nace del corazón. Del corazón, decirle que usted es mi vida, que no sé vivir sin usted, disculpe que se lo diga, pero es que no aguanto más, este dolor me calcina, me nace del corazón, el corazón me domina, yo quiero sentir sus besos, sus manos que me acarician, quiero comprobar que vivo, no quiero morir de amor, hasta que escuche su boca, decir que me quiere mucho, este amor que usted siente, le nace del corazón.
Eso es todo, compadre. El ritmo.
Saber burre.
¡Lúcete, compadre!
Eso es todo.
Me nace del corazón. Decirle que usted es mi vida, que no sé vivir sin usted, que no sé vivir sin usted, que no sé vivir sin usted. Disculpe que se lo diga, pero es que no aguanto más. Este dolor me calcina, me nace del corazón, y el corazón me domina. Usted me ha enamorado, yo quiero decirle mil cosas que no sé por cuánto tiempo que no estoy con usted. Yo quiero volver de sus labios el agua del amor divino, tenerla de beso en beso, me estoy muriendo de sed. Yo quiero sentir sus besos, sus manos que me acarician, quiero comprobar que vivo, yo quiero morir de amor, hasta que escuche su boca, decir que me quiere mucho, este amor que usted siente, me nace del corazón. Thank you, muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Un aplauso para los bailarines.
Don't sit down. I'm telling you, just going to get right back up. So thank you so much. This is going to be our last song. I know, it's been such a great show. We really want to thank the Kennedy Center for having us. Thank you so much to our amazing sound and crew and everyone who was here early, setting up chairs
Bravo.
and making sure we had a good time. So this last song is a tribute to Celia Cruz, a Cuban-American musician who was known as the Queen of Salsa. And it is called La Vida es un Carnaval. And it's the message is everyone who thinks that life is horrible, and this is really important for right now. Everyone who thinks that life is horrible, you're crying, everything's wrong, it's really not. Life is really amazing. It's beautiful. It's a party. God's with you. We're with you. And so let's go out on that note.
Que la vida es desigual, tiene que saber que no es así, que la vida es una hermosura, hay que vivirla. Todo aquel que piensa que está solo y que está mal, tiene que saber que no es así, que en la vida nadie es solo, siempre hay alguien.
Ay, no hay que llorar, que la vida es un carnaval y es más bello vivir cantando.
Que la vida siempre es cruel, tiene que saber que no es así, que tan solo hay momentos malos y todo pasa. Todo aquel que piensa que eso nunca va a cambiar, tiene que saber que no es así, que para el tiempo buena cara, todo cambia.
Ay, no hay que llorar, que la vida es un carnaval, es más bello vivir cantando. Ay, no hay que llorar, que la vida es un carnaval y las venas se van cantando. Ay, no hay que llorar, que la vida es un carnaval, es más bello vivir cantando. Ay, no hay que llorar, que la vida es un carnaval y las venas se van cantando.
Es para reír,
Hay que llorar,
para gozar,
carnaval,
para disfrutar,
ir cantando. Carnaval,
la vida es un carnaval,
hay que llorar,
todos podemos cantar.
carnaval,
Ay, señores,
cantando. Carnaval,
todo aquel que piense que la vida es cruel,
carnaval,
nunca estará solo,
ir cantando.
Dios está con él. Para aquellos que se quejan tanto, para aquellos que solo critican, para aquellos que usan las armas, para aquellos que nos contaminan, para aquellos que hacen la guerra, para aquellos que nos maltratan, para aquellos que nos engañan y para aquellos que no votan.
Grupo Fénix, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you for joining us at Millennium Stage. For more information about upcoming shows, please check out the Kennedy Center website or Facebook page. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your evening at the Kennedy Center.